What's up, guys? This is Rise, and welcome to another video. Recently, I hit my highest ever elo on the GBL leaderboard. Spoiler alert, the elo is 3671. I've hit 3635, I believe, is my previous highest. I have also hit number 1 on the global leaderboard, but this is a higher elo than I was when I hit number 1 back in the day. So number 2, and here's the thing, I thought I actually had number 1 kind of in the bag because the day before, We Is Arson, as you see at number 3, was number 1 with 3646. I had a 5-0 set that put me at 3671, and I was like, guys, check the leaderboard tomorrow. Check the leaderboard tomorrow. Didn't want to say I would be number 1 because I didn't want to get my hopes up, but I thought I had it locked up. And Mr. Tetsuo 106, that sly dog, was able to get 1 point higher. So unfortunately, we don't hit number 1, but we were number 2. And get this, Tetsuo and us and me were number 1 and number 2 for like 4 consecutive days before people were able to get above us. So congrats to him. And this is the team I primarily used to get to this elo. Shadow Charizard, Giratina Altered, and Virizion. Oh my gosh. I am just remembering I started running this team because of one of the LATAM battlers from the own video I made. I'm going to have to look this up as we're casting here. We're up against our friend Mr. Greedent. But this was one of the teams in the video that I made suggesting legend teams. So let's scroll back a little bit on the Rise channel. Legend teams. Who made this beast of a team? I want to attribute them properly. Let's see. It was Emilio's team. Shadow Charizard, Giratina Altered, and Virizion. And now, as I was starting to approach the 3600, 3700 range, I tend to get a little bit superstitious, and that's why I didn't stream. One reason I didn't stream is you run the queue times, and then you run the risk, not that anyone ever would, but they might know what you're running and have a bit of an advantage. So I played these off stream and actually didn't record a lot of them just because I was like superstitious. And sometimes when I do the record feature on my phone, like there's the chance like storage fills up or there's like some sort of freeze that occurs. So I actually didn't record 4 of the 5 battles in the set to hit the number 2 in the world, but I did record the very final battle. So if you guys stay tuned to the end of the video, the final battle that you're going to see was the battle to get that 5-0 set. And these battles that you're seeing right now are kind of in the lead up to it in the previous sets. But we ended up going on a 10-0 run that helped us secure that elo and that ranking. Here we are switching up the team, and a couple other players and content creators in this elo range we've kind of been discussing strategies of climbing the leaderboard, and it does seem like you play a lot of the same people over and over again. So there is a bit of a strategy to changing up the team, and this is not something I recommend if you're trying to climb the earlier ranks of the Go Battle League. If you're trying to climb 2500, 2600, 2700, amazing catch by the opponent here, just making us look silly, catching Focus Blast on their Giratina. What a catch that was. Not something I recommend in the earlier ranks of the Go Battle League because I think it's most beneficial to try and master one team and learn how to play it as best as you can. However, when you're playing the same people over and over, there comes a point in time where you kind of want to mix it up, or they might remember what you're running, or they might game plan for it better the next time. So you see the team graphic, Shadow Zard, Giratina Altered, Virizion. That was the team that I went 10-0 with to put me in this position, but this was another team I was alternating with, and you're going to see me make another alteration as well to the Shadow Dragonite, Reggie, and Clefable line. In comes Virizion, and suddenly I'm thinking, maybe this isn't quite over yet. Is this still possible? Leaf Blade connects. I'm patient. I don't allow the catch. Now here I was like, do I shield? Do I not shield? I felt like Shadow Dragonite's glassy enough where Zap Cannon would either knock out or put me into lock-on down range. Gonna go for the superpower here. Unfortunately, since we got debuffed, it's not enough, so I'm gonna be forced to throw my claw here as well. I don't believe I could have got the farm down. I think Reggie would have got there, but I could be wrong. Building up extra energy. We really need to force a shield if possible. But the problem is Virizion is at double Sacred Sword right now. And I don't go for a catch here because I don't think a catch helps me personally. I think a catch I just lose. I needed to like hope Clefable could get to 2 moves here. Is there any way? It's pretty close. We're going to need to live one more double kick to get to this next Meteor Mash into Fairy Winds, and we don't live it. So a really close game. And now we finally get a good lead. Couple losses there to start the video. But we see a positive Greninja lead. They safe swap the Golisopod. Aerial Ace connects. And here's the thing. With a Greninja lead, right, I have 2 great answers for it. We swapped in Virizion in the back. So as long as I can maintain switch advantage, I'm feeling good here. Because I can align my Virizion with the Greninja. Pretty straightforward, right? I throw my claw before going down. Will he be willing to commit a shield? He will not commit a shield. So Dragonite's low. Probably farm us down with something. Trev comes in. This is a little bit scary. It's a little bit scary, but Reggie, being the beast that he is going to be able to hold his own against Trayvon, the Trevenant. And we're going to take the Shadow Ball on the chin. A debuff here would be really nice because the next Shadow Ball won't threaten to knock out. We do get the attack fail. That's huge. And now I feel like I'm in a pretty good spot because I can get off this Zap Cannon. And either if he lets it go, we pretty much just win on the spot. And if he shields, our Virizion will be up a shield. And I think we're still in an okay spot. So I like the situation we're in. Zap Cannon does connect. He swaps into Greninja. And this game's just over because assuming Greninja's not running Aerial Ace, there is no moves that's going to threaten us here. So we can just save our shield for a Shadow Ball. And that is a G to the G. G to the G. This was the B team. This was the B team, but the B team put in some work too. I think this was Elam that we're playing. ILQM. Amazing battler. Cool guy. Superpower. Connects. I'm going to come in with Virizion here. And it was a little bit awkward, right? Because part of me wanted to save my Virizion for the Swamp, but I'm like, my D-Knight's still super healthy, so I still have D-Knight for the Swamp. Gonna go for the Sacred Sword here. Make sure we don't give him a shield advantage unnecessarily. We knock out. It's Clefable, but it is Fairy Wind, so it's really not the worst matchup in the world for our Virizion, or Verizon Wireless, as I like to call them. Gonna chip away at Clefable. And this game's already over, right? Like, we know it's over. He might not know it's over yet because he doesn't know that we have Reggie in the back. But it's over because this is just straight RPS pretty much. As long as we were able to maintain switch advantage, there is no way we're going to lose this game. So, unlucky for Elam. Shadow D-Knight versus Shadow Swamp. Not a whole lot he could have done this game. As Shadow D-Knight and his Shadow Aura will force the top left. And you see the set we have there. So that was actually a 5-0 set separately from the 5-0 set, if I'm not mistaken. I think we fell a little bit after that 5-0 set, but that put us at 36-68. We ended up falling a little bit. And now we've got D-Knight against Squidward. But I'm telling you, you guys aren't going to want to miss the very last battle. This video is coming up fairly soon. It was a good one to hit that 36-71 rank. Shadow D-Knight versus Squidward. We're able to call an acid spray. I mean, I knew it was either a scald or an acid spray, so I felt like I was willing to take it either way. Claw coming through. Tentacruel's kind of an oppressive fast move mon like Dragonite, so I figured he might shield and go for switch. Gonna come in with Reggie here. Take the Scald. He aggressively swaps A-Slash, and I hesitated for a second because I was like, wait, I can get off a Focus Blast, but I was like, no, why would I do that when I can just come in Virizion? We shield the Ice Punch. Nothing fancy, just throw after one. Sacred Sword would threaten to knock out here, and now we've got a 2-on-1 fast break, and apparently he didn't have the Core Breaker necessary impact to deal with our 2-on-1 fast break. He didn't have Victor Wembanyama lurking back on defense to try and core break us. Next battle here, Shadow D-Knight into Giratina. I tried taking the Claw once here, and that was not a smart idea because it did so much. I got Shadow Claw down. So I shield up. I do want to win switch. Generally, with a Shadow Dragonite lead, you're going to want to try and fight for switch if possible. Our back Pokemon are quite different. They're both weak to fire, but they cover quite different things for the most part. We do get the farm down there just before they got to that third Dragon Claw. So that's huge. We got a lot of energy to work with. Virizion comes in, so I'm thinking, I'm better off just staying in. I'm better off just staying in and doing as much damage as I can. So I line my Virizion with their Virizion. Then I've got Reggie against whatever is in the back. Superpower connects. I aggressively swap, catch the Sacred Sword, so I keep dragging it around for later. And check this out. It's an Excadrill. It's an Excadrill. And honestly, this is just pretty RPS in the back. Like, Virizion is so good here. But this thing could have been kind of scary if I made the wrong decision. Like, that thing could have swept my Dragonite and my Reggie if I had, like, safe swapped my own Virizion. That would have been a huge, huge error. And here we go. This is the battle I was teasing. Let's pause for just a sec. I know some people get upset when I pause, but at this point, we had a 4-0. This is like 2, 3 a.m., and I just wanted to keep going because I was on a run. I'm laying down in bed. And this is against Scaffo, teammate of mine, super cool guy, amazing battler. We are 4-0, and I'm at, I believe, 36-10. Something like that. No, I think it was higher. It was 36-18. Yeah, it was 36-18. And this, I feel like in my head, if we win this battle, we get number 1 on the leaderboard. We lead Charizard into Swampert. Not great. But we're able to successfully catch on 6. One before we would get to a Blast Burn. Makes kind of sense for him to throw there. Scaffo's going to build up some energy. Comes in with A9. Me having access to Ancient Power is going to come in handy here. Because this does some solid damage to the A9. I just throw right away. I kind of disregard timing. I just want to get off my Ancient Power. Will Scaffo put up a shield? He does. So he's got lots of energy. So Zard's probably going to have to take a Weather Ball here. I think he's at 7. He throws instantly. So he's going to be 5 off his next Weather Ball. We're going to overfarm as much as possible. We're also not threatened by Swampert's fast move damage. So I overfarm, but I want to keep a little bit of health. I've got all this energy. Just going to wait to see what comes in before throwing anything. It's the Swampert. We swap. He swaps Skunk Tank. So on paper, he kind of had the triple hard counter, but we were able to dance around, catch the move, and we're up a shield here. So this game is not over, even though this isn't a great matchup for Virizion. I don't even know if he had enough for Sludge here, to be honest, but I shield it anyway. I go for the Sacred Sword. This puts him in an awkward spot, right? He kind of has to shield. Because Swampert can't really get rid of the Virizion. And look at this. We get to another Sacred Sword. This is going to knock out the Skunk Tank. Swampert still has to deal with us, but Swampert has a lot of energy. I wasn't sure if he had double here. I was kind of lost in the moment. So I shield, and at least this forces him to throw back to back. So he has to be at least two, probably more than two mud shots away from his next. I go for the double claw, thinking double claw should do more than one blast burn. And that is actually a CMP tie. I could have thrown the blast burn there for the style point, so a little bit sloppy in the end game. But we secure the win, and now you're going to see us claim the 5-0 set. GG's to Scafo. A little bit of a pause, a little bit of a dramatic pause from Rise, thinking he potentially got number one. I actually DM'd Scaff after this. I never DM people after I win because, as I've talked about on the channel, like playing sports and stuff, I just don't really like that concept of like beating somebody and then messaging them to like let you know that you beat them. But I did it in this case because I was like, hey man, I don't normally message anybody after win, but I think I just got me to number one. And then he messaged like eye emojis, and he was upset with how he played. So we collect the reward, we claim the rank, and that is 3671 elo, my personal all-time high elo, which is cool. I had that post that I'm sure some of you guys saw on X, and also I posted it on YouTube, where I feel like every few months I go through phases in this game where I feel like I'm in a drought or in a rough spot, and you start to question, like, did you lose a step? Do you still have what it takes to like compete with the best players, and to go on a nice run like this, get to number 2 on the GBL leaderboard is a nice little confidence booster. And also making videos like this, I know I've had multiple videos lately where like, whoa, 3600, whoa, number 2 on leaderboard, and I've gotten like a couple comments. I mean, if I get 100 comments on a video and it's like 1 or 2 comments that allude to like calm down, Rise, like don't need to be so braggy about it. I don't think I am, and everybody's entitled to their opinion, right? So I think I have a good self-awareness and a good idea of like what's important in life, and whether you are struggling to hit ace rank or whether you hit number 2 on the GBL global leaderboard, like what does that really mean in the end? We're all just striving for our own personal goals, and we're trying to have fun with this game. And I'm proud to share that I hit number 2 on the GBL leaderboard with you guys. So I don't consider that me bragging or showing off. I'm happy with what I achieved, and I'm showing it to you guys, my friends, and that sort of thing. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And in regards to like looking at negative haters or comments, there's a quote I'll leave you with that I'm sure some of you have seen on social media, but Tom Holland recited it, a quote that was attributed to somebody else. And he said, if you have a problem with me, text me. And if you don't have my number, well, then you probably don't know me well enough to have a problem with me. So if any of you guys are dealing with people in your own personal lives that have a problem with you, maybe take that into account, and maybe they don't know you as well as they should to have a legitimate problem with you. All that said, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this content, feel free to leave a like on the video, subscribe if you're new, comment down below. All comments are appreciated. And all that said, thank you for watching. Hope to see you in the next one. Peace.